Oh, but Lord, yeah, Mulan,
That's correct.
you know, was in about to you and good morning to CJ and good morning to the nation. This morning, Lord, to give you thanks, to give you praise. But I will glorify your name because your name is worthy to be praised. But without you, we cannot do anything of our own. We daily depend on you for you to do our body good. So I bring the contribute. You remember Grenada, you remember Combitima. Remember the whole world this morning, blessed Lord. Remember each and every country, every village, every parish. I bring this to you this world. Where there is darkness, the light. Where there is light, make it more bright. This is our blessed Lord. So that this morning I bring the crucial and before you this all Lord. But I reach out and touch each and every one. All different people. But I remember just I remember the critical one. But I look over each and every one of them, guide and protect them this all Lord. If I minister, I bring before you this morning, Lord. But I reach out and touch that son, wheresoever he look, guide him and protect him, Lord. Remember all the ministers I bring before you both male and female, each and every one of them, the opposition party. I bring before you this hour, Lord. Remember each and every one, remember all the ministers this hour, Lord. For that guide and protect, bless if thou be so please have mercy. Mercy I ask and mercy is my total prayer. I'm not complaining, Lord, but I'm begging you that favor to look down on each and every one this hour, blessed Lord. The entire force may bring before you as by our police station this hour, Lord. Father, those on duty and those out of duty. Remember the SSU I bring before you, Lord. Remember the RRUs in your hand. Remember the what this morning. Father, they allow children. They allow brothers and sisters. Father, look over each and every one. The sick and afflicted one. Those on the hospital bed. Pain rock the mortal body. And when it's day, they cry for night. And when it's night, they cry for day. This our blessed Lord and Maximo to ease the pain for them and smooth the bed for them. Those preparing themselves for the operation table, Lord. But I guide the doctor and protect him this hour, Lord. Those in child, but I bring before you, I'm asking you to deliverance for each and every one this hour, Lord. But I remember the nation and the nation friend this hour, Master. Remember the plane in the air, the boat on the ocean this hour, Lord. Remember each and every one of them, the fishermen. Help them to have a chance that God will believe pain on. Remember the coast God I bring before you. But I remember both me and Penel on the coast God this power blessed Lord. In the going Lord, go with them in the reading. Them to comply people. But I can walk as I bring before you this power blessed Lord. Remember them this morning, blessed Lord. Our drivers is in your hand. The sick and afflicted one, those that cannot help themselves. Even those in the home, this our Lord. I bring each and every one of them before you, this our Master. Remember them, this our blessed Lord. But what could I tell you what you don't know about the children? We are your sheep in the pasture, and know each and every one of us like our different voices. You say, rock of ages close for us, and we hide ourselves in thee. And let the water run the blood, and by the wound inside is full, this our blessed Lord. Jesus. Remember your children this hour, Lord. Remember the youth, Lord. I bring before you this hour, Lord. Remember the youth of the land is in your hand this hour, Lord. Father God, wheresoever they see them flatting being the needs with them. Change the water into wine and make them what you want them to be this hour, Lord. Pass by them this hour, Master. Remember those in our different homes. Remember the rich man home, Lord. Remember the prison. I bring it before you, Lord, for a young and tender plan. See one concern they going, Lord. Some are sick and some are sad and some are love the love they have. But oh God, remember them. We cannot turn our back on them, Lord. This morning, Lord, I bring that son before you this morning. Yes, by name and by number, reach out and touch that son. Thanking you for safe arrival this morning, blessed Lord. Remember you whom he left behind. Reach out and touch each and every one of them in that home. Provide for them. Bless them if thou be so pleased. Chatten Satan chain towards them this our Lord. CJ, I bring before you this morning, blessed Lord. Reach out and touch that guide and protect her. But I wish you weak, make her strong, and when she's strong, make her strong. That is our Lord. And I help her to do his job. that she able to do in spirit. Give me strength to rock like it and not let go. Thanks to God, you bless you with him soul this morning, Lord. Remember, she more I bring before you this our blessed Lord. But I know everything, this our master. Remember those who are working on the radio station, this our Lord. But I bring each and every staff I bring before you. I do cannot name them one by one, but Master, you are acquainted to each and every one of them. Reach out and touch them, bind them together like one bone glass that cannot be broken. My God and my King, bless them this morning, blessed Lord. My God and my Redeemer. Jesus has everything is in your hand, God. You say, oh Lord, our Lord, our experiences, I live in all thy hope. But I remember each and every one, give them good this hour, blessed Lord. And to tell the disciples to say, our Father, which art in heaven, holy be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For there is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. Amen and amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you so much, Kenro. You're there.
Yes, yes.
Very powerful indeed. Thank you so very much for your very inspiring words this morning to set things on foot for this very inspiring program. So, how are you doing? How is Chantimel?
Well, it's good, but it's kind of sad. Huh? It's kind of sad.
It
Huh?
is sad. It is sad.
I I know
Yes.
what you're talking about. Said I kind of glued
Yes.
at that time with Chantimel. Yeah.
Yeah. When you said you talk to me, I was yes, I don't mind me grandson was okay. So he told me only that I guess I will I guess number four. But I still got jump section because those from the prison hospital, children, you know they are the first best friends.
Hmm.
So we still had and when I reached there yesterday and I hear that I see Naman because it's two Naman we have up there and they tell me I don't say a word. No, I say dead, are we dead? It's that too loud. You don't know people are dead. I say no, but I don't respect Naman. You know, I never hear you speak, I never hear oh God. Then I will see friend and friend. Well, they have to be no how is it? They won't know because they never been that experience. But they have to fight them. The more that I know how to feel in there. Yeah. As a pastor, I know it. But them just coming in, so they don't really know it yet. Yeah. Yeah. See them, yeah. See, so I wish you all the best and have a good day.
Well, Kenro, well, I know you will continue to listen, and at some point in time, I believe you will have some form of experience based on the topic we are discussing this morning that you will probably come back and relate to. All right. So I expect to hear you. So in the meantime, have a very good morning. Yeah.
Okay, all the best. Have a good day. Yeah.
Lovely. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me just take the opportunity to say a very special good morning to all the listeners and viewers of this very inspiring program entitled Chick Five with CJ and Jester for yet another Tuesday. It is the final Tuesday of April, and I have with me my co-host,
Mm.
the petite lady, CJ. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Um, as Kenny was saying, yesterday was a very sad day for me too. I've cried so hard yesterday, it wasn't funny. I'm telling you, it wasn't funny at all. That was the last thing I expected to hear yesterday. But hey, as we say, life does not guarantee us anything at all. We just take it as it comes.
Um, so while we're on that, Clay, I will take the opportunity within a very open. capacity to express my most profound sympathies to the families, relatives, and friends of the late Norman Gilbert. With his sudden passing, transitioning to the beyond, I know that the sporting fraternity um, would have it's a great loss, especially within the discipline, the sporting discipline of cricket. Um, and from that, his professional working life, he would have left an indelible mark. And what really hurt me, it wasn't too long ago. It almost feels like just days ago, Norman and I was sitting on the same desk, rubbing shoulders, because I was doing cricket commentary for the T20 cricket that was recently held at Riverside. And he
Mm-hmm.
was the one that was behind the computer and dealing with all the scoring and the statistics and everything like that. So that really hit me hard when I was woken up into the news yesterday morning by someone, and I just at some point I just lost words at the time.
It is strange because Duru normally posts things on his page, and I see he posts something, and I look at him and I see Norman's picture. So I'm like, what do you mean, rest in peace, cuz? So I called him. I said, is that Norman's picture? He said, yes. I said, what's wrong with Norman? Norman passed, and I just lost it because I'm telling you, two people that was really close to me that died like that is him and Donna, and I'm telling you, I just lost it because I don't think there was a dry eye in in the ministries and so yesterday. Even the people that gives counsel to people has to be counsel themselves, I think, because I mean, as you say, he left an indelible mark on all the places that he worked. As one person commented to me, wherever Norman walked, he shined. So I guess he's shining somewhere else right now. It is pretty sad, but hey,
Yeah,
it is what it
certainly.
is. Yeah.
So Claire, go right ahead and shout out your peeps as you usually say.
My peeps, you know who they are. JG, good morning to you. Good morning to Faitlin Holly Douglas. This is her family also. So, Dudu, Tamer, good morning to the Hill Street people. Good morning to each and every one of you that listens to our Take Five program every Tuesday. We cannot say how much we do appreciate you coming in every Tuesday and doing what we do best, talk, just as enemy in the madhouse, and all of these things. We do appreciate you coming along. And to all of you, I can't call names this morning because I'm a bit, you know, on the downside, but you know who you are. And thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, Claire, what? I really understand how you're feeling, Jude.
Hmm.
Anyhow, let me take the opportunity to say good morning to my good bro, Gordon Bushes Richardson. We are in a conversation maybe just about 2 nights back. Um, Alistair Aito Dubois and his wife, Leslie Nicholas, and wife, Wayne Ted John, and Patty. Uh, Andy Moose Bartholomew, I think he's on island now, based on what I
Mm-hmm.
see post up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, the Gleens family out there in Boston, special good morning to you. The Hill Street people, I'm speaking about Celia Robinson and family. Yeah, saw my boy Cats not too long ago, had a nice little chit chat. It's always so refreshing whenever I come across because we don't see each other on a regular basis, Claire. So you know what that
Mm-hmm.
feels like
Mm-hmm.
whenever we do connect. All
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Claire out there in Maho, good morning to you. Kathy out there in London, good morning to you. Um, Godchild, that's Michelle out there in Riverside. Yeah, I'll expose you today.
A godchild.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
yes.
Godchild, yes. Who else, Claire?
Gladys,
Oh,
Gladys.
Justin.
Tutman
Yeah, Justin Tootman and his wife.
and
Yeah,
Blue. And don't
always
forget
come.
Blue.
Yeah, Blue. I was up at them on Friday
Mm-hmm.
last. Yeah, and I'll tell you the drama after.
Okay.
Yeah, after
uh,
after departing from them, what
uh-huh.
ended up happening to me?
Oh, okay.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, Miss Gladys out there in Madis, good morning to you. Also, Trisha out there in St. David's, good morning to you as well. Claire,
On
so
the live, we have Olavachi, Buongiorno, Chance the Gamer 97, which is Mary in Toronto, Lorna Bain, good morning, Daphne Dayton family in Toronto, good morning to you. Good morning to Nicholas Snag, and NP, good morning to you. As my brain settles, I'll remember more.
oh yes, girl, what? Look at you really badly up this morning. So Claire, I had a little accident on Friday, girl.
Eh?
You remember I tell you I was up by Justin the Friday, and
Yes.
I was really hustling to get to Pitians because I had a guy that came from Grenlick
Mm-hmm.
that was waiting on me down there. So we had to deal with some technical issues with the control areas for the sewer pumps
Mm-hmm.
hustling. And then I actually had a little run off the road just around by Tessa Copeland there.
Because you were
And
hustling,
yeah, maybe that too. And I think I hugged the corner a bit too close.
or you went
And
tight.
so I kind of yeah. So I had a little run off there, but thank God, because that what is most important, you know. The whole lion will see for himself after, you know. I touched myself and I realized God had armored me, you know. So I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So you see why it's so important that I always maintain my spirituality, you understand? Because that thing could have been so much more devastated. And I just
So
thank
what
the
what
Almighty
happened to
when
the
I see it. So
vehicle?
well, he got a little under damage. I was even surprised. I was expecting that it would have been the cost of damages would have been more.
Mm-hmm.
When the mechanic told me that the arm was good, I was shocked because
Okay.
I really thought that the left arm, front arm, would have severely been damaged. That did not happen.
Okay.
So
All right.
the chassis of the vehicle did not get touched. The radiator did not get touched.
Are you then? You
So far, what
okay?
you,
You okay?
I'm telling you, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank God for just so much, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. So Claire, Rosehill football, the curtains are slowly coming down. Last night we had the final round of matches in the quarterfinals. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So making the semifinals is Paradise. They will be taking on Idlers. That's on Wednesday, God's will, and on Thursday it will be Rosehill coming up against Trenchtown. So these are the semi-final lineup
Mm.
for the tournament, and the final will be on Saturday, God's will.
You're not going to
So
invite me?
you went to tell me you're not coming along. Don't worry, man. Kira does be there. Kira conference, a
That's all
good girl.
right. Yeah,
There,
yeah,
she and a good friend. I don't know if it's a friend or family member, but even if it's not family members, they certainly move like family members, really. And truly, I admire how they move. So I like to acknowledge Kira Gunn, but and
yeah.
Rena, man, they always
She
at the
always, yeah,
football.
she's always at
Usually,
football. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually call out her name too. She find
What?
out as be she find out as be harassing her, but I think Kira is compliment. I'm complimenting.
Oh, no, that is harassment. Take that as harassment. Hilarion
But
Gonpot
it's all
said good
good.
morning.
Yeah.
Hilarion Gonpot said good morning, and he asked how we doing. You know how we doing, Hilarion. Don't ask.
Yeah, that's
Don't
Doodoo,
ask.
man.
Yes.
That's the name, man. This
Yeah.
guy is something else, you know. Every time he
Yeah.
comes here, he does damage himself sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he
The
pulled a
brother,
muscle. Yeah. Hmm.
the brother of Fitlin Harley Douglas, not so?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Claire. So, anything else you want to touch on? Really?
No, I'm
What was
good.
well, St. Max had the celebration climax on Sunday last,
Mm-hmm.
ending with the Reservoir Jam, which
Mm-hmm.
went from 5 a.m. to 12 noon. And then for the very first time, they incorporated a brunch
Oh, yeah, I heard.
at
Mm-hmm.
the Alston George Park. So, yeah, so. From all indication, there were no misfortunes this time around, like
Mm.
what went on last year. So
But I
that
heard
was
somebody
very
got stabbed
special.
still, though.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, people are going to be people, you know. Some people come with good intentions, and some come. The people that come with bad intentions walk with weapons. The people that go just for fun, they just go to have fun. So things like that in a crowd like that, you know, things always happen. But it wasn't too bad. I don't think the person died.
All right. So, Claire, is that it for you? Or we could dive into our topic, or you have
Dive.
anything else to say?
If I have something, I'll tell you when I'm ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So the responsibility was hugely upon my shoulder, right, to deal with this topic this morning, and I came up with, I thought about criticism, and I look at it from how I should say, Claire, for the young folks, because these days, um, when you're into things like public speaking and everything like that, and almost everything that you're involved in, even if you're gonna put things there out there publicly, there are so many people that can tear you apart maliciously. And if you're not strong enough, all right, they
Mm-hmm.
can really break you down. And it was along that line I was thinking, and I thought, nah, I have to deal with this topic. So it says dealing with criticism and its impact on mental health. And these days, because there are so many recordings and things like that. So it's not like in the past, you would have you said something and it just disappear in thin air. These days you can be reference can be made back to recordings and everything. And you can find yourself under severe pressure. And as a result of that, young people who might have some form of intention to get into certain aspects of life might be what I should say, they might detour from it because of that kind of pressure. And I want to urge them not to. So that's the reason for the program. So we're going to have a critical look at criticism for both from a constructive and a destructive point of view, really. So let's start. And criticism is one of those topics that sits right at the crossroads of emotion, intellect, and ego. It can sting, it can sharpen, and it can completely reshape how someone sees themselves or their work. Since you just gave me the topic without narrowing it, I will give you a structured, useful breakdown that covers the angles people usually care about. And let's start with the core takeaway. Criticism is information about how something is perceived, and its value depends on intent, accuracy, and how you choose to respond to it. What criticism actually is: feedback, an external perspective on your actions, ideas, or work, a social signal. It tells you something about the critic as much as about the subject. I like that,
Mm-hmm.
a social signal. It tells you something about the critic as much as about the subject. A tool, it can refine, redirect, or motivate. A stressor, because it challenges identity, competence, or belonging. All right. The two major types. Let's look at constructive criticism. Under that,
Mm-hmm.
aims to improve, specific, actionable, and grounded in observation, usually delivered with respect. So, for example, someone might come up to you might be engaging doing something, and someone might come up to you and say, "Your argument is strong, but the evidence section needs more clarity." That is a constructive way of how you might tend to criticize someone. You understand? With somebody come and tell you that so nice along the way, Claire, you know that they mean well for you. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Unlike when go on,
go ahead.
you
No,
go
go
on
ahead.
if you
Go ahead.
no, because I was about to move on to the next type, which is destructive criticism. So if you want to say something pertaining to under constructive criticism, is a good opportunity to
Well, we always
go there.
say that criticism is constructive, but is it always constructive? It's all relative, depends on how you take it or how I take it or how it's delivered to me.
That's the key point you just made. How it's delivered.
Hmm. And
That's how it's
sometimes
delivered.
somebody will come and say something to me, and they'll say, "Oh, you cannot take criticism. You know, I'm telling you something is constructive, but is did you deliver it to me in a constructive way, a way that I can see that is constructive to me or to make me better?"
That that is the thing, Claire. How it's been delivered to you. Because you have some people, they may mean well, but is the way they will come across or bring it across to you. And in some of them do it in such a way that it actually it breaks you. And it may not be that that is the intention of the person. It really may not be, but they just don't have that kind of way of delivering it to you that would make you feel, good in such a way. And that's the thing. Destructive criticism aims to diminish, yeah, aims to diminish its vague, personal, or emotional charge, often says more about the critic's insecurity or frustration than about you. So, for example, this is terrible. I don't know why you even try. Could you imagine somebody coming and tell you that? So you might be involved in doing something. You're trying your utmost. You understand? You want to succeed, right? But someone will come and tell you in after you're putting out your efforts, this is terrible. I don't know why you even tried.
Okay, just uh, just uh, just
Right.
to bring up the volume of your mic. You're a bit coming a bit low. I'll let you know.
Is that any better?
Yes, yes. Hold there.
Okay, good.
So yes, when somebody come to you and they said, "This is terrible. I don't know why you tried." That alone in itself is is stumping you as it is, because first of all, maybe you do not have the confidence to do the things that you want to do, but when you get that coming at you, like you just shut down. But the point I like that he made, he says, often says more about the critic insecurity or frustration than about you. So if they are in a frustration mode as it is, they cannot get their life together, they cannot get their stuff together, and they see me trying. It is not about what I'm doing that is causing them to criticize me, It's about how they feel at the moment. And they want, like they say, misery like company, so they're going to make me miserable just as because they are.
You're sure right about that. So right about that. Why criticism feels so intense? Humans are wired to treat criticism as a threat because historically rejection from the group meant danger. So even mild feedback can trigger the defensiveness, rumination, shame, overcorrection. So you get that? I'll,
Hmm.
I'll read that again. Under the heading, why criticism feels so intense. Humans are wired to treat criticism as a threat because historically rejection from the group meant danger. So even mild feedback can trigger defensiveness, rumination, shame, and overcorrection. Understanding that biological backdrop helps to detach from the emotional punch.
Hmm.
How to evaluate criticism? So when you are being criticized, You want to evaluate what you've been criticized about. So ask yourself, first of all, is it true, even partially? Is it useful? Is it coming from someone who understands the context? Is it delivered in good faith? So these are some of the questions that you will be asking yourself when you are being criticized. All
Well,
right? Is it
yeah,
true?
but
Even yeah, go ahead.
let me ask you something. I'm sure that you have been criticized before. Yeah? There are things that people criticize you about. I think we all will go through
Many a
that.
times.
Okay.
Many a times.
Did you ever stop to ask yourself, is it true? Is it useful? Is it coming from someone who understands the context? Is it delivered in good faith? Have you ever asked yourself those questions when you are being criticized?
Eh, to be honest, yeah,
Well, I want about
maybe in
honest.
my formative, you can leave me alone now. What's wrong? I'll be honest here, really and truly. In my formative years, maybe I may not have been asking myself these questions while critically analyzing, but now more than ever, I am doing that on a very regular basis. Trust me. Because the thing is, I am more of a public figure now than in my formative years. You understand? So at times you'll get the criticism coming at you. And then, yeah, these questions and them here, of course, I always do. And
But,
trust me.
but as you say, let's be honest. I come to you, you're doing football, and you know what, you're trying your best and you're doing whatever. And I come up to you and I say, Jester, what you do tonight was just crap. You're not even thinking about asking yourself those questions right where you stand, and I tell you that. I'm telling you the honest truth. You're like, Wappen Claire? You're going, Wappen Claire, what do you mean? What do you say that for? What did I do? You're not asking those questions, and that's what I'm trying to bring it up over and over, because it is good for us to say that. Hindsight is always 2020. You will think about it after the fact that asking these questions, that is it true? Is it
That, that,
useful?
that's, that's true. That's true. Yeah, at the time, you don't know how you will react. You
That's
definitely
it.
do not know how you will react. If you were to come up to me and repeat just what you said a while ago, sometimes I ignore you totally. Sometimes I say, "Girl, give me a chance."
According ignoring is part of the fact that you did not take it. What I tell you, did not take it nicely, so you ignored me. I'm just saying you could say whatever you want and you go about your business. That is part
Right.
of being of you did not like the criticism that I gave you, I made towards you.
Right. So listen what usually happens in your quiet moments,
Mm.
maybe before you fall asleep, the same night, you would ponder upon that because you usually rewind the cassette,
Mm.
all right? And then you really start asking yourself these questions that are placed there now. Is it true? Even partially true? Is it useful? Is it coming from someone who understands the context? Because a lot of people, right, they love to just open them out and just talk without even understanding what is happening. They have no knowledge sometimes as to what is taking place, but they just love to, some in the past will say, be the traps.
I said it blowing
You understand?
hot air. Let me tell you something.
It,
There are sports going on, like they have hockey, they have basketball, they have football, they have rugby. And we are the best critics of what that person should be doing when they're playing the game, or what the coach should be telling his players to do. We criticize like we are backseat players. We say, oh, they should have do that, and the coach should have moved him there. And why did he play that person tonight? All that is criticism. But do we know the nitty gritty of the game, or the nitty gritty of the things that the people are doing for us to criticize that person?
that is the question. That is the thing. So much so that I always remember, right? Leslie Nicholas. used to be
Mm.
saying when we can know Nico used to coach Eagles when I played. And back then he had a number of fellas up the road, people like Casper and Gambala and Big Stones, and they will have the team pick, not stars. Even
Mm-hmm.
if they don't come in around the training session and know what is happening, but they have the team pick. And let me tell you something, when they come to look at the game, if the game is scheduled for a Sunday, and who they pick, right, who is on the list, is not on the field, that player that replaces their player on their list, he better not make a mistake. So
That's what I'm
you
talking
understand?
about. Yeah.
He, because they will come there and really try to antagonize him
Mm-hmm.
and unsettle him. And it's really not fair because the player that might be on the list is a player that maybe did not even show up for training. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's really not fair, but you have to know how to deal with it. But here, on now what we made mention of just a while ago, is it true? Is it useful? Is it coming from someone who understands the context? Is it delivered in good faith? If the answer is no to most of these, the criticism is noise, not guidance. I like how that person really, really debunked that. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
The researcher, I really, really love how they did it. If the answer is no to most of these, the criticism is noise, not guidance.
Well, that is
So they
true
should have,
because yeah.
you shouldn't allow it to have any negative bearings on you, really and truly. And
But again, you're
so,
human.
that is true too. Yeah, that is true. Um, Now, so we move to how to respond to criticism effectively. Claire,
Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
pause. Pause before reacting. Emotional reaction distort interpretation. Extract the actionable part. Even poorly delivered criticism can contain a useful nugget. Ignore the ego attack. That part is irrelevant to your growth. Decide consciously whether to integrate the feedback or discard it.
Well, these are some good points that they make here. And by the way, let me say good morning to Arlene Date, um, Faithlin Hallie Douglas, Cabrino Philip. Good morning to you. So these are good points that they make here because if you, I always say, if something bother me or somebody says something to me, instead of like you said in your former years, you might just blow. I might just blow, but now
Yeah.
in from the age of I'm in my little 30s, I'm working and so on. I remember my boss said to me, something happened and he saw my I was already to blow and he called me and he says, "Come here," and I says, "Yes." He says, "I want you to take 24 hours before you respond because he said you might say things that you cannot take back." And I've learned that from then on, that if things bother me to the hilt, I just take my 24 hours, sometimes 48, because sometimes 24 is not enough for me to deal with it. I take my 24, 48 hours, think things through, and then deal with it. And that's why it says pause before reacting, because emotional reactions distort interpretation. Because, yes, I could say things that, I cannot take back, and, it may not be what it is that I am dealing with at the moment.
Yes, Claire. And so I'm telling you, with me personally, I have grown to a level that I know how to deal with um malicious people that intent is just to break you, really and truly,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I really know how to deal with them. I wouldn't really, fuss up myself about that. Most of them, a lot of them, I call them finger thinkers, like those that have the time to just sit behind the gadgets and just press thing. So the only thing that they think forward is to the tip of the fingers.
Mm. Yeah, laugh at you, Joe. Go ahead.
Well, no, there is no depth, actually. They only
Mm.
go as far as the tip of the fingers. And I say that with no apology. You
No one
understand what
is
I'm saying?
asking you to
Yeah.
apologize.
No, well, you know me. I'm not going to apologize if I don't have a good reason to. You know that's
Mm.
how I am. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't changed along
Okay.
that line. Yeah, yeah. So I say it was repeating this clear. How to respond to criticism effectively. Pause before reacting. Emotional reaction distort interpretation. Extract the actionable part. Even poorly delivered criticism can contain a useful nugget.
And that
Ignore
is
the
true too.
ego attack.
Hmm.
Oh, yes, that is certainly true. Ignore the ego attack. The part is irrelevant to your growth. How do I describe growth? Boy, I have meaning for it, Get rid of weaknesses that hinders.
Mm.
So you will love that. Why not? Get rid of weaknesses that hinders.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's
Tap
my
yourself on your
name I put
back.
together. So you see, I'm
Yeah.
thinking deep, not to the just the
Yeah,
tip
you're
of the
thinking deeply.
fingers.
Thinking
Sorry,
deeply.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Think deeply.
Oh yes. Responding well doesn't mean agreeing. It means staying in control.
Okay, so hold up there. When it says, the part that I like where it says, even poorly delivered criticism can contain a useful nugget. What do you think they mean by that?
How I interpret that to be is like when they normally says from out of nonsense you can pick some form of sense. That's
Okay.
all in a general sense. That's all I all I gather from it.
I don't understand that. Speak it in layman terms for me.
Oh gosh, well, like how much again? Speak that in
Layman.
layman terms. Okay,
Layman.
so let me tell you something. The thing about it, right? Even people. So I'll bring a classical example for you. Even people who we feel that we consider to be stupid. That may not be the best way to describe that. No, don't have much upstairs. Let me tell you what I understand happened once. There was a truck that was going underneath the tunnel, Sendal Tunnel
Mm-hmm.
in St. George's. While the truck was going there, with the height, it stuck, got
Mm-hmm.
stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
And all kind of people who will feel that was bright and come up with all kind of ideas, and yet still they couldn't get that truck to release from there and move out from there.
Okay.
You know who came with the solution? Claire?
Tell,
And
tell me.
I knew about Dommy James, a man they called Dommy James that used to be in
Mm-hmm.
St. George. You must have heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
Dommy James, and this is seriously I'm telling you, this is truthful. This is no story make up.
Mm-hmm.
Dommy James came up and he said, all y'all have to do is to just release the air from the tires.
Oh, because
All
the
the
truck will,
bright people,
the truck is going to
all the
drop.
bright people
Mm-hmm.
was around, right? Who we are expecting a solution to come from?
Okay, hold on a
Dommy
second.
James.
That doesn't
So,
mean that Dummy James was not intelligent. Maybe he was on the street for because something happened, but that doesn't mean that he didn't. His upstairs wasn't thinking.
but Claire, what happened is that in society, people would have perceived him to be that type.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And look how what the intelligent idea he came up with to get that truck out of there. Say
Mm-hmm.
all I have to do is just release, take out the air in the tire.
And that solved the
I'm
problem,
telling
ain't it? So did they tow the
you.
truck out of there, or how did the truck move then?
Well, yeah, actually they well during them day, no truth, they'll push it out.
Oh, okay.
Because yeah, when they take out the air, the tire go down flat and then they push it out.
So
Yeah.
somebody made a comment just it says criticism like emotion poorly delivered criticism and all that stuff talking about criticism it can also be considered bullying in some cases, which is true. As I said before, if somebody is not doing as well as they think that I am doing or you are doing, then they will bully you by saying things to criticize you, to make you feel small, to make you feel as though you don't even know what is going on. And that's a form of bullying also, which
Yes.
I didn't think about it now until I see it, which is quite true. Good morning,
But
Tony
which is true.
Edwards. How are you, honey?
which is true, Clay.
Yeah.
It filters down to bullying,
Hmm.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, SBW. Hope all is well with you where you are.
Listeners, the and viewers, the phone number is 404-1189. We'll love to hear your comments. These are the digits you can hit so you can join the conversation. We'll love to hear from you. You might have had some form of experience and you want to share it with us as far as criticism is concerned and how it probably would have motivated you or so or break you, whatever the case it might have been, but we'll love to
Hmm.
hear from you, Claire.
Well, can I tell
All
you?
right.
Let me give you my piece though. You know, I've always been criticized, eh? People criticize me a lot. Even people that is close to me criticize me because you see, as I always say to you, I read a lot. Well,
Yeah.
you said they said everybody has sense, not everybody has common sense. So I use the common sense that the great God has given to me. And when I say things, I don't just say things blindly. And they're gonna say, "Oh, you think you know everything." I never claim to know everything, but when I open my mouth, I know what I'm talking about. So I get criticized all the time for that. But like I said, build a bridge and jump over it. I don't care.
Let me read a comment here from somebody online. Shouldn't you train or counsel your young ones to manage or deal with criticism? At what age would you start?
I
Shouldn't you
think,
train
yeah.
or counsel your young ones to manage or deal with criticism?
And
At
at
what
what age
age would
should
you
you
start?
start? Yeah, it
I
is a
believe we
good
should start
point.
very early. It is a very, very, very important point, especially in today's society, within this dispensation.
But you see the thing, Jester. At what age should you start? Once a child can understand no, yes, don't do that, or something, you should start to tell them. Because from that age growing up, they will face criticism right through their life. Because when they're in school age and they try doing something and somebody say, "Oh, you're not good at it," or "You don't know what you're doing," and this is criticism too. So you have to try to train your children at a very, very early age once they can understand what is going on.
I agree with you totally. So, yes, the person that wrote that comment, I'm pretty sure they would understand, especially with you giving that form of explanation. All right. So the non-obvious insight. The most powerful use of criticism is not to fix flaws, but to reveal blind spots. Blind spots are where growth hides. The most powerful use of criticism is not to fix flaws, but to reveal blind spots. Blind spots are where growth hides, Claire.
There's a
Isn't
comment you
that
should read.
interesting?
There's a comment you should read.
Sometimes the ones criticizing, they are the problem themselves, and it's more confronting to hurt
No, it's
someone
more
else,
comforting, comforting.
more comforting to hurt someone else. Okay, so let me take that over. Sometimes the ones criticizing, they are the problem themselves, and it's more comforting to hurt someone else. There's nothing wrong with giving constructive criticism. However, it's mostly how they would deliver.
And I
And
say
we
amen
did
to
make,
that.
yes, yeah, that,
Mhm.
that, that person is on point, and we did make mention of that earlier on in the program,
Mhm.
how it's been delivered.
So you're making your point again? Go ahead. The one that you were reading before?
Yeah, well, I think it's an obvious situation. The most powerful use of criticism is not to fix flaws, but to reveal blind spots. Blind spots are where growth hides. So as they
Mm.
say, criticism is not to really fix flaws, you understand? But it's
Mhm.
to bring up the blind spots. And I that is true. Yeah.
But
Because
can you see in your blind spot? You're a driver?
you may not always see it. So that is
Mhm.
why else may help point it out to you, and you would realize it. You understand? Because we all are humans and we all will come short, no matter what. You understand what I'm saying? Or else can you bring that person that can cast the first stone?
Layman terms, layman terms.
Layman terms is that we all will make mistakes
Hmm.
because we are humans.
But you see the thing
That's
about
all it
it,
means.
I really think that we have to learn to be humble and accept when, how you call it again, constructive criticism comes our way. The comment says it's how it is delivered to you, right? So sometimes we take offense to how it's delivered to us. But if I come to you nicely and I say something to you, I criticize you in a nice way, I think you and I and everybody else should be humble enough to accept it and work on it. But sometimes it does not have that sort of positive effect when we get criticism.
Well, of course, Claire, I am in for constructive criticism. I'm all for that. I'm sure you are for that too. I mean, because when you sit back and you reassess whatever you have done, because usually, if you did something, you don't just normally just do it and leave it like that. You will go to Claire, we have a call coming in, so
Go
let,
right
let me
ahead.
let me take that call.
Hmm.
Good morning, caller.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hel-
How
Are
are
we calling
thou
from?
there?
Are we calling
Hello.
from the
Thou the
prison?
I like a topic
Mm,
um this morning,
Thank you.
and I think it is worthwhile to explore that word criticism and look at it from that aspect of the mental situation, because criticism can, as good and bad as we know, and it can be destructive. It can cause a lot of mental stress, even to the extent of committing suicide. We've seen it.
mm-hmm.
Um, One of the things that is very outstanding to me is when it can affect young people, to the extent that we've had cases of it where youngsters being criticized. And I looked at it from the aspect of criticism that actually exudes bullying. And we've seen instances where one would take their life as a result of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too, we have to also, somebody mentioned about teaching young ones to manage or deal with criticism. Even in the home, as a young police child growing up, child is exposed to a measure of criticism from parents, from siblings, and so
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
And that can manifest a lot of negativity in the individual. So we even have to be conscious of it and be understanding as to the implications that can be created as a result. Sometimes we think we do it with good intentions. However, they may not be the best intentions for the children. So we have to look at that as well. And I kind of agree with the individual in terms of speaking about managing, teaching children to manage criticism, good and bad, because the good criticisms can also bring about sort of a false impression as to who you are. You know, if you have been told that you're the greatest at whatever, and hey, trust me, you're not. You may feel that you're better than others, you can do things better than others, and you finally come to a rude awakening at some point in your life that you weren't all that good at that. So that also can be a negative aspect, if you want to look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Lived with criticism all my life. And I think most of us as human beings have,
Mm-hmm.
especially us who may be in the public eye, put it that way. There are people who would like you and there are people who wouldn't like you.
Right.
Again, it's all about your mindset and how you accept it. Now, they say no negative breeze would blow without a little silver lining behind it.
True.
And you ought to be able to take a negative criticism like
Jester referred to not necessarily looking at a person, but the criticism itself
Mm-hmm.
and analyzing it and see whether or not it has value, it has worth. Because a negative criticism can come value. Somebody could tell you, Claire, if that top you have on there, girl, that is not for you.
Well, thank you very
That
much.
is not for you. And Claire, I could hardly hear you. And Claire may say, "But what wrong with Sherma? She could tell me that's not for me. I like my top."
Yes, and I love my dog.
But then Claire look at the top and say to herself, "Yeah, look, you see she fixing it? You see she fixing it?" So Claire look at the top and she say, "Sure, let me have a point there, you know. I find the color falling down."
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Colorful.
you
I'm
see,
fixing it.
it's how
Yes.
you analyze the criticism and see how you can, see what you get out of it. See the positive that you can get out of that negative criticism. So criticism has its good, its bad, and it's ugly. But one of the things that bothers me a lot is using that same example to a youngster within a school environment, that there is someone else there, or even a teacher who's always criticizing that child. That demoralizes the child to the extent where that child feels that they're not worthy and lead them into negative thinking and negative aspects and withdrawal and becoming ultra conservative to the extent of going into depression and so on. So all these things are important things to discuss in that particular topic. It's criticizing, as they would say, for criticizing sake. Have a
Yep.
wonderful day, both of you.
Thank you so
Bye.
very much.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. I know she
Thank
can't hear me,
you.
so I'm waving. Just to here's a comment. Listen to this comment. Criticism could be used to intimidate, challenge, particularly your children, to soften up on those you to prey on criticism, to also to flirt, subdue, break individuals. It could be used as a strategy to get information and unbalance individuals. Criticism has its importance, positives and negatives. It's something the same thing as what Shama was talking about.
Shaman,
So
yes, yeah.
that's
And
a powerful point.
very powerful indeed, Claire. In fact, they have actually went on and opened the gates, right, for where we now have to pass, actually. So let's look at negative slash destructive criticism.
I think we should take a
Is a
commercial
very
break before you go on, Jester. I know you don't like to take the break, but we have to take the break. Take the break.
right. So I believe my technical man in there will assist me with taking the break.
No, let's see. Maybe he might be busy. Take the break yourself. If he's not in, just you'll just continue then. But check your phone for me. Mm. I think he's working on something.
Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
Grenada. Get ready as Idol City Sports presents its 6th annual Ball Ice competition. Roselle Plainfield in St. Patrick kicks off from Sunday, February 15 and ends on Saturday, 2nd May. Get ready for intense football competition. All teams will be able to register 20 players. Players must be in uniform and numbered. Registration fee, senior $400. Under 17 enters free. Cash prizes up for grabs. First place winner in the senior category will walk away with $4,000. And the first place winner in the under 17 category walks away with $1,800. Second place, $3,000. And under 17, $1,500. Individual prizes. Who will dethrone the defending champion? Church now. All under the lights. For more information, contact Redhead at 538-7509 or Philip at 406-9580. No unauthorized vending allowed. Single game will be played on Wednesdays from 6:30 p.m. and it's double-headed games on the weekend.
For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand. You can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon.
Oh, you're
Watch your
looking for
favorite
that
movies,
one-minute
TV shows.
supermarket where you can purchase all your grocery and household items at the same time? Well, look no further. Smart Buy S.A. Belfon and Company Limited, located at the top of the town on Main Street, Hotel St. Patrick, is the ideal spot. They're open Sunday to Sunday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sundays, just for your convenience. Call them today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. We're shopping snacks at Snack Buy.
You're moving too fast.
At Sugar's Repair
Too
Services, we
fast.
offer digitally calibrated machines,
You're reading too
resurfacing
fast.
engine
Because we
heads,
don't have a lot of people.
general machinery. Show us your
Slow down.
pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair
That's why I take the
Services,
break now.
we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be
You
done.
hear me?
Call us at 473-418-1845.
Okay. Bye.
Sugar's Repair Services.
Finally, you don't need an ETA to travel to London to purchase your household appliances because Little England has you covered, located right here in Grenada. So test to be exact, your convenient and affordable one-stop store. Check us out for quality brands of blenders, irons, air fryers, stoves, washing machines, refrigerators, and so much more. We don't have it, we'll source it for you. Call us today on 458-4111 or visit our new location, Upper Main Street Hotel St. Patrick, Little England, where quality and convenience matters.
Oh, wake up, it's a brand new day. Got some things I need to say. Feeling heavy and not alone. Come take 5, you're in the zone. Voices come reflecting. 2 good friends always there. Let the sunlight in your friend. Peace and hope you're sure to find. We'll take CJ and Jester. Talking truth.
Take the pressure. Every Tuesday, look like you're throwing him under the bus. You need to reassess how you put questions through, especially on the issues as to layman talk. You respond based on how you know how pressure. Maybe what you can do, make them some of this discussing and just talking about. See, they and Jester, it's okay to not be okay. Let's talk it out, don't drift away. Mental health it matters most, so come in close and raise a toast to the ones who bite each day, to the silent words they never say. You're strong, you're seen, you're truly heard. Got your back, you got our word. Oh, take pride, serious Jester, talking truth, then pressure. Every Tuesday, so open space just for take take your time when here take see day and best rain upon laugh we cry we share the ride no
Okay, welcome back, folks, to this very unique program entitled Take Five with CJ and Jester. And so, both of us, we are here, we are definitely on the ball with you this Tuesday morning, Tuesday being the 28th of April 2026. Claire,
Yes.
are you ready to go?
Go right ahead.
All right, so as I said, actually, our two previous callers, they went and opened up the gate for it to pass through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So we are now at negative slash destructive criticism. It's a very specific beast. It's not just criticism that feels bad. It's a pattern of feedback that undermines, discourages, or attacks, often without offering anything you can actually use to improve. Let's break it down in a way that's genuinely useful. Core takeaway: negative criticism is judgment without guidance. It highlights flaws but gives you nothing to build on. You know, I'd
That
like
is
to read
that's
that
true.
again.
It's yeah.
Negative criticism is judgment without guidance. It highlights flaws but gives you nothing to build on.
That you remember when in the upper part of it, it says it is just noise.
Yes,
So
yes,
that is kind of saying it is still noise that they are making if it's not anything that we can build upon.
right. So let's look at what negative criticism actually is. One, vague. This is bad without explaining why.
Mm-hmm.
Two, personal. Attacks the person instead of the work. On balance, focuses only on faults, ignoring strengths. Emotion driven, often coming from frustration, insecurity, or bias. Non actionable, you can't do anything with it except feel worse. So let's take them one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Under the heading again, what negative criticism actually is. So, first of all, one of it, it's vague, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, somebody might see you doing something, they have no specific way of which to come and guide you. So, they just make some vague statement, which
Mm-hmm.
will help to try to just break you, but just daunt your spirit. And that's what we are talking about there. And this is bad because the person cannot back it up with any explanation as to why you're making such vague statement.
I look at it as a parent. saying no to a child without
Yes.
explaining why you say no to that child. Or don't do that. But why? Because I said so. That is as vague as we could get. And I always believe in explaining things to children. We have an echo, Jess. I don't know where it's coming from.
Have an echo.
Yeah. When I speak, there's an echo coming right behind me. Yeah. I believe in telling children and explaining to them why is it that I'm saying no to them or saying yes to them. So this is where the vague comes in.
Yeah. So we have dealt with that. Personal. And under the term personal, your attacks the person instead of the work or what they're doing. So you want to
Mhm.
get personal. You don't really want to help the person what in whatever they're doing, but you're picking on them directly. You're getting personal with them.
Well, it's in that
Going
case, Jess, you're an electrician, and
yeah.
I know head no tail of what you do. But I see you doing something for me, and I'll come and say, Jester, why don't you put it this way? Or why don't you why through that? Well, I don't even know what you're doing. Instead of I'm asking you, okay, so is there a reason why you're putting it there? Would I get better result? And then you'll explain to me. But then I'm not doing that. I'm just getting personal on you and tell you, don't put that there. You don't know what you're doing, and don't, it wouldn't look good there and stuff like that. And this is what it is when people criticize you and you don't even know head nor tail of what you're doing.
Yes. And in some instances, the personal attacks go beyond even that. They may start to tell you things about yourself, your family. It goes beyond that in some instances, Claire. That's how far these things do go at times.
Have you experienced
You
things
know,
like that?
not that I can recall now. It may be, but just on the spot, at the moment to think about it,
Hmm.
um, I kind of put me in a sticky position. But if I do remember, I'll raise it. Um, Unbalanced. Focuses only on faults, ignoring strengths. And that is so common. You understand? And that happened in many respects,
Hmm.
far and wide. We could take a critical example. For example, let's take the police. A lot of the time, sometimes when the police do something negative, we quick to come down on the police. But whenever they do something good, we hardly hear they are being complimented by the public. Isn't that true?
Quite true. Quite true. And the thing is, a lot of us do
Claire,
not.
Claire, we have a call coming in,
Okay.
so just hold your thoughts.
Hmm.
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Hi, good morning to you, my Take Five family,
Good morning.
and to you, our good host, Money,
Morning.
because you're the one across the sea, right?
Across the seas, Jester, the farmers.
But
Yes, yes, I know exactly. Me, I don't want to talk about.
but
The last time I said anything, I was shut up. So I shut him up.
oh my oh my God, I think they're telling tales on me, but
Gosh,
just I must say that the topic this morning is so meaningful and in depth. Of course, you all normally have good topics,
thank you so
but
much.
the, the whole aspect that you have to be standing alone and have to deal with the criticism, because I know you would get it when you get offline from your co-host, but that's okay. Negative and positive criticism.
Well, if
For me personally,
go on,
for me personally, when I'm given a negative criticism, I use it as another threader in my step to climb on.
Mm.
However, I do take that time to do some reflection and introspection as to how can I do it better next time? Is it what was said true? Where did I go wrong? How do I make those adjustments? So even if the negative criticisms, and I wish, our young people could have been listening, that they would understand that negative criticism still can turn out to be positive. It still has its positive effect. And if you are positive minded, it can take you to another level. Because I remember in my younger stage in my profession, while I had my objectives, I had my goals, I know where I wanted to reach, when and by what time span. Although I didn't have total control over it, I had boundaries that I had set. And I had colleagues, I had supervisors that just felt that they're going to kick the dust out of my. And there are times they will speak behind your back. And when I get those news, I say to the persons who take to me, I'm happy that they can use my name to freshen their breath. However, in the meantime, I'm going to continue to try. Every time they win, let them feel that weight on their eyelash to know it's me, humble I, that is climbing upward. So negative criticism, based on how the receiver or the recipient accepts it, it can turn out to be positive. Because oftentimes persons do not like the correction. As CJ was saying earlier, even persons who is closest in your corner criticizes you, but do they have the balls to come to you and say, this is why? Not like mommy or the boss who say, do as I say, but not as I do. Positive, we need to let our young people, even we as adults, need to know that not every criticism that comes across positive is really positive. Because as I said earlier, not everybody knows how to bring across a criticism. So in order to not hurt the recipient, they give you unfactual responses. But I thought that part have a part two to it, where maybe you can just dissect more of the acceptance of the criticism and not just so the consequences. But when you get it, so you just plant your wings like a peacock and say, well, I have arrived. Or should you go back in your closet and analyze it, be it positive or negative? I'm here listening.
Thank you
Continue
so
going,
very much.
Jester. It has been a very detailed one for you this morning because sitting alone on the chair, there is a little applause coming back. Your co-host is echoing a bit whenever she talks. Um, but we'll get it. We'll get it. You will get it, of course. And continue to soar. Let her know that you will do it and you can do it. I'm on your side this morning. Bye for now.
Very much.
Wait, 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 wait a minute here.
Oh no.
This is negative criticism, but I'm taking it
But
with a
if I
smile.
have,
Thank you so very much.
if I have the opportunity to say, I would tell her, give you a repeat next week. Give you a repeat of that next week because you can do it. And I know we will get back to you. You are capable. And this is a positive criticism.
I know that. I know that. Thank you so much. Very valuable contribution this
Yay.
morning. Just yeah. Thank you so much.
And let me,
Yeah.
to the
All
person
right.
that just
Bye for
hang up
now.
also, let her know that I knew you could do it. That's why I gave it to you to do it. I gave you the assignment to do it because I know you can handle. You are the handler. You work with the handler, so you're supposed to be able to handle, right? Yes?
Of course, girl. You know
There
that.
you
You
go. There
know.
you
You
go.
you
Yeah,
you
you
know
know.
that. But Claire, we have a call coming in again,
Go
Claire.
right ahead.
We
Yeah.
don't want to. Let's take it one time. Good morning and welcome to Take Five.
Well, hello, good morning, Jester, and my lovely, lovely teacher. How
Oh,
are
baby
you?
girl. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, listen, y'all. Catch me today. I
Mm.
was scrolling, minding my business, and then this topic come up. I'm like, wow, look how they catch me. But anyway, criticism. I think giving criticism and receiving criticism is all about proper communication. Most of us, well, a lot of us, we do not know how to reach people via proper communication. It's all about what you think at the moment and not what the person is dealing with. Sometimes someone would come to you and say, "Oh, you trying to build a house? That house ain't building good." Whereas that is the way you want it. However, if you have an expert opinion as to why I shouldn't do certain things, you learn to communicate that to me better. So therefore, we wouldn't have any lines crossed. Like criticism is something that will either build you or break you. But one of the things that I tell myself every day is know thyself. When you know yourself, then no one can tell you who you are. I'm saying all this to say that sometimes people criticize you for who you are or who they think you are and not what they really know about you. So they assume something about you and they go along and they criticize you for that without taking the time to say, hey, you know what, this is this person's life. Let me just give this person grace. If I do have something to say to this person or add my 2 cents, which they necessarily don't have to take, let me learn to do it in a way that is not offensive, that does not take away from them, so that we can have a decent conversation about it, not just decide to just tell me, like, hey, don't do this or don't do that, or you can't do this or you can't do that. Most times, criticism bothers people because they seek validation from others. If you do not seek validation from others and you know yourself, there is absolutely no way anyone can criticize you to the lowest point where you think less of yourself or you use it as a tool against yourself. You should always use criticism as a tool to, enable you to do better, grow stronger. Even if you feel that, yes, maybe they do have a point as to what I'm doing might be wrong. So they gave me that opportunity by communicating it with me, that they give me that opportunity to have a second opinion and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I should consider what they're saying. It's just how they brought the message across and not just telling me I should do this or I should do that. Communication is very important when it comes to giving or receiving criticism. And of course, knowing yourself and being able to not seek validation while you're doing the things that you're doing so that nothing or no one could be able to break you. And that's my 2 cents.
Oh, thank you
You
so
make
very
so
much. Oh
much
my
sense.
gosh, Jester,
That was powerful.
I'm beating my
Thank you
chest,
guys. Have a
This,
great
I
day.
did something
You
right. This
as
was
well.
my student. You see that? That's my lovely
Yeah.
teacher. Tapping myself on the back. But and that's a great point to me. And we tried on that from the top coming all the way down, and it was
All the
just
way down.
cemented.
Yeah.
It was just
Yes,
cemented.
yes,
We can
yes.
add
And
anything more.
as she put it, how you communicate the
Mm-hmm.
criticism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very
That's why I said
powerful
it's
indeed.
cemented.
Because it
Yes.
either will make you or break you. You
Yep.
as the person who's being criticized. And that is what a lot of people does not seem to understand. Yeah.
There's a comment,
Play.
Jester. It says, there are times you have to know you are not a counselor. Sometimes you need to obey the captain and sink the damn ship. Sometimes you need to know your place. Sometimes it's above your pay grade. Be careful. I don't know if that is a threat. I don't know what
I
that
know the person as I do. That one
Yes.
can be very blunt
Yes.
at
Yeah.
times.
But
Take it or leave
we take it
it.
with a pinch of salt here, okay?
Keep
you
it
know,
coming. Keep it.
yeah. Before um we had those two callers, you were talking about the police and the people when something happened, the police they always talk about the
Yeah.
badness of the police and not the good
Yeah.
and the police is good. Now
Hardly you'll hear them
hardly
highlighting the good. Yeah.
exactly. But then they fail to realize that the police is under a lot of pressure and they are humans also. And as you said earlier, we all make mistakes, we are not perfect. But
Of course not.
when something happens, we the people, and I'm saying we the people, we do not think about what the police has to go through, what investigations they have to make or anything, and we attack them and say, oh, the police sit down there and they're not doing their job. And the man do this, and the man do that, and the woman doesn't do this, and the police they should just beat the police or kill the police. We have to think really, really carefully as to
Oh
what we
yes.
say when it comes to the police, because guess what? Something happens and the police investigating, and because they did not say what it is at the time that we want to hear, we criticize them mercifully. But if something should happen to us the next day, who are we calling?
Police.
The police. The same police that we criticized today and yesterday and the day before. These are the same police that we call. And then when you do not get, because they have feelings too, and when they do not get the result that they want, well, I don't know what to say. They have to crucify the whole police force. So this is the point that I wanted to make. Yes?
As you rightly say, the police are human beings as well, and I interact with quite a few police officers as friends, and at times, they have to be operating under immense pressure, meaning that it's not everything that is adequately available for them to work with, and the sort of sacrifice that they have to make. So sometimes they do find themselves under a lot of mental pressure to operate, and a lot of us do not understand that. And I just thought I should make that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we are under emotion driven, often coming from frustration, insecurity, or bias. So we often get criticism, but these are the conditions under which the criticism are leveled back at us, because it's
Mm-hmm.
coming from somebody might be in their frustration, some form of insecurity, or they just been biased.
Mm-hmm. And
You
we
understand?
could be biased a whole lot of times.
Yeah, and who knows? In terms of insecurity, sometimes you might be doing something out there. You probably might be competing for the position, but because you probably feel that I may get the edge on you, you decide to attack me because you feel that form of insecurity, and you probably may not get the position ahead of me, so you just decide to criticize me because of that form of insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
that is exactly what they are talking about in under the under the situation there. Or you're
And,
just being biased. You just and I just say there are a number of bias.
mm-hmm. And just
Yeah.
we are all at some point in our lives, in each and every one of us, and we all become insecure at some point in our life about something, because we are not, as we know, we are not perfect, and things happen, and you're going towards it, but you say, am I sure that I could do this? I feel insecure doing something. It's like a relationship. You have a relationship, and then sometimes you feel insecure in that relationship, like you're not totally
You must
100%.
you must have got a relationship, you know, that your pet subject. Well, go ahead. I didn't mean to break.
What pet is it? A dog or a cat? You see how you see how you torment me, and then when I say things, that people think that I taking. See, yes, but it's like a relationship. Tell me, a lot of us in a relationship do feel insecure, but at some point in that relationship. So
Oh,
it's
you
the
do?
same thing as criticism. Me,
I
I don't
didn't
have
know.
a relationship, so I don't feel insecure about anything. Me and Storm good. The only insecurity I have with Storm is that he bite me. You understand? But yeah, but it's the same. You feel insecure in a lot of things, and people that have insecurities, they're not sure of themselves, so they take it out on someone else that is not doing anything to them at all.
Yes, girl. You're so correct about this thing. I can just
What you
feel
feeling?
this. Yeah, I feel how well this is going on, man. This is going on so well. Non-actionable. You can't do anything with it except feel worse.
Mm.
What do you think they really mean by that?
Except feel what?
Non
Well, what is it?
non-actionable. You
Mhm.
can't do anything with it except feel worse.
Well, when it says except feel worse, you're already feeling bad
I mean, you've
because
been
they already
torn apart,
criticize
yeah?
you. Huh?
Yeah.
So
that
they
would have
already
been torn
criticize you
apart.
and you're feeling bad. So anywhere you could go now is not up, is down. You already you feel bad, you could feel worse. And then after that, as Chama made the point, you may either try to take your own life or just or go into seclusion and don't do anything else. Here is a comment that says past traumas can cause persons to put up a shield, especially when confronted. They feel attacked. As and the comments are coming hot and heavy this morning.
Claire, would
Yeah.
like for you to read that again, please.
Past traumas can cause persons to put up a shield, especially when confronted. They feel attacked. And that criticism caused that
Yes.
just the same way too.
Yes, Claire. That the point that person is making there is a very, very serious thing. So they are speaking from some form of experience they would have had before, and as a result, it put them in a position that they kind of lower the self-esteem because of what they experienced before,
Mhm.
and that is dangerous.
And here is a spin on it. They've been through this. That is a past trauma. But I come with my good self now, not knowing that they went through this trauma. And I'm coming to give an advice to them. And in the way I, as Tony says, the way I communicated to them, it can send them right back into what they experienced before and look at it as something bad I'm coming with when it's not. That's not what I'm intending to do. So again, we have to be very careful how we communicate with each other when it comes to doing things or giving somebody an advice.
And so Claire is like in a situation where somebody's been really hot and deeply hot, and the emotions overflown and they cry, and somebody will just come, "What are you crying for? Crying?"
Stop it. You're too big for that.
You understand what I'm saying, Claire? This is
Yes.
just so insensitive because you really don't know what that person is really going through.
And just we as Black people, we tend not to say things or not to express things that we are going through. So a lot of people do not know what I might be going through or what you might be going through because we come out on a front as though everything is a-okay with us. But deep inside, there is turmoil. Deep inside, we are hurting. And when somebody come at us in left field with something like that, it just drives us on the other side of where I have to go and
Exactly.
take my vaccine. You understand?
Well, in some instances, people that approach them like that, sometimes they just resent them after,
Oh yeah,
you
oh
know?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
want nothing to do with that person.
All because of that insensitivity that that was the way they approach that person in such an insensitive way. All
And
right, so it
before we go,
says
let's.
negative.
Oh,
Oh,
there's another comment we should read. It says that's a
yeah,
fact. It comes back to having good communication skills. You never know what someone else is dealing with. And the other comment
eh,
behind this below that says, yeah, because there isn't anyone to confide in. And that again, Jester, is another big thing.
we always make mention about ever since this program has been going on, we're talking about confiding in others, and people find it difficult, especially these days, to find somebody that is good enough to confide in, because I believe so many people betray the trust
Mm-hmm.
of others in
Mm-hmm.
such a sense that they're not they're not comfortable with opening up and confide in certain people, and that's a big problem within our society these days.
Not, I mean, forever. I mean, we grew up with people that, you say things to them, and before you turn your back and go, somebody else knows. And I'm very aware of the person that come to me and say, you are the only one I'm telling. I'm very, very aware and beware of these people because you know to yourself, you are not the only one that they say it to. You have to know that person to know that when that person say, Claire, you are the only one that knows that. I believe some people, but everybody else is like, nah. Because when it comes out, you have to ask, who else did you tell?
That's the thing. That is the thing. Oh yes. Negative criticism is not the same as constructive criticism delivered bluntly. It's criticism that fails its purpose. Again, negative criticism is not the same as constructive criticism delivered bluntly. It's criticism that fails its purpose. I think that explains itself.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, yes, it is.
So now let's look at why negative criticism hits harder than it should. Negative criticism tends to one, trigger self doubt, two, make you overcorrect or freeze, three, stick in memory longer than praise, four, feel like a threat to identity or competence. And I would have added a fifth one, lower self esteem. I add in that one.
Mm-hmm. So,
So you see,
go ahead.
what negative criticism tends to do. First of all, it triggers self doubt because, and so once that is happening, once you're doubting yourself, it means that your confidence is being affected right there and then. So it all has to do with your confidence because you're doubting yourself. That is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what that means. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Two, make you overcorrect or freeze. Claim and you know that's a very serious point there.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how deep some people do take criticism. And in some instances, the criticism is not really justifiable, but just because it is a criticism that is leveled against you, you start you put you, what put yourself under immense pressure mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and really and truly, sometimes there is actually no need for doing that.
But
But
it says
just
this
as
is
I
what it
said,
does. It says it makes you overreact or freeze, like you don't know what to do, what to say, what to think.
yeah, because in some instances you feel that you would have done so much already, but yet you continue to be criticized. So now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, I can do anymore. I freeze at this point in truth.
I ain't
There's
do
nothing more
nothing more. Do what
that
you
I
want,
can
say what you
do.
want. I ain't do no more. Exactly.
So that is one of the things about negative criticism. Stick in memory longer than praise. Again, it's somewhat hinged on the one we just come from. So you always keep thinking over and over and over, keep contemplating. Where is it that I go wrong? Why is it that this person is talking about? You know? And you're stuck in that. Rather than you try to move on and praise yourself. Been stuck in memory. So you keep going back and thinking rather than so in other words, the way I'm seeing it there is like the memory is going back and you avoid yourself from going forward, which is the praise. That's how I interpret this thing there.
I interpret it as, you keep doing things, but you get no praise for it. So it's like a memory to you. You remember I did that, and Jester didn't even say thank you. I did this, JJ didn't even say great job. So it's like the memories that you remember what you did, but did anybody say thank you? Did anybody give you praise for the things that you did? So it's a memory to you.
Did anybody complimented you for it?
You
No.
you you're smart.
The
That's
next
it.
one, feel like a threat to identity or competence. These things are not really playing on your emotions. It could
Oh yeah,
feel like a threat to identity. It goes that far, Clay.
that you cannot identify your own self.
You understand? And you start questioning your competence.
Hmm.
And sometimes it really is not fair, you know. And then, as I said, the one I put in, lower your self-esteem, because after looking at the four, that is exactly what you will find happening. You'll find that you lower your self-esteem.
Well,
That is
if you,
that's what it can lead to
mhm.
eventually, lowering your self-esteem. Yeah. Do you want to say anything on that before we move on a
No,
little bit?
I was just saying that if you've been criticized from a very, very early age, you wouldn't have any self-esteem at all. Much more to have it lowered. No, because you're
That's
always under attack.
You understand? So we have to be, as parents, we have to be careful as to how we correct our children, how we deal with them on certain issues. Yeah, that is very, very, very important. Yeah, because as a couple callers or people who comment, um, it actually transfers to bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your brain is wired to prioritize danger signals, and negative criticism often masquerades as one. Your brain is wired to prioritize danger signals, and negative criticism often masquerades as one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How to recognize when criticism is actually negative? Ask yourself, one, is it specific? If not, it's probably useless. Two, is it about the work or about me? Personal, negative. Three, does it offer a path forward? If no, it's noise. Four, does the critic understands the context? If not, the judgment may be irrelevant. So let's take it line by line. Is it specific? So you're asking yourself, we're going back under the heading, how to recognize when criticism is actually negative. So you're asking yourself, so when the criticism has been leveled against you, is it specific? So you
What?
will ask yourself that, is that specific? If not, they are saying it's probably useless if it's not specific. And remember, we are talking about vague criticism.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, that is exactly what it's come back to. Because it's not specific, then obviously if it's not specific, then it's vague. So quite obviously it's probably useless. Two, is it about the work or about me? So if it's not about the work, then that is a personal attack there. So if somebody is doing something, then you ought to criticize what they're doing and not necessarily criticize the person per se. So that in itself is a bit negative. So if
Okay.
you're attacking the person, that's how I'm saying it.
So I think you need to go to negative criticism has real psychological. I think you skipped that part and you went back to the first part. So you have to start with negative criticism has real psychological, emotional, and even behavioral side effects.
Where are you seeing this? I skip that word.
No, no, you went back to the first part.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm. You see it now? Where you talk about lower self-esteem, overthinking, and rumination.
Read that for me again, Clark.
It
Where were
says
you?
negative criticism has real psychological, emotional, and even behavioral side effects, especially when it is frequent, harsh, or comes from people whose opinions matter to you. Here is a clear structured breakdown of what it can do and why it hits so hard. It says the
You you
means,
way you way ahead of me, yes.
well, yes.
I'm just
Because you when you double, I think you double the one that you say you have to go there now.
We have a call coming in. Let's take it.
All right.
Good morning to you, caller. Welcome to Take Five.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning to that very
Good
first
morning. Yes, as usual, a good topic because at some point in our life, we all have to deal with criticism. But I would like to add a third one instead of, I know we have the constructive and the destructive, but I like instructive criticism. And this one is more of a supportive approach where you highlight the issues and then you share or you give ideas of how to address it. And I'm going to give one example. A few years ago at my workplace, one of the ladies that reported to me, all of a sudden she just started to come to work late. And it was an issue because, she accustomed coming to work early. So I had to approach her to find out, you know, why are you coming to work late? So we met, and then I said to her, well, the first thing before I went into the reason why we met, I said, do you still love working here? And she assured me, yes, she liked working here. She likes everything's going fine. And then I said, but recently I noticed that you arriving late at work every day. And then she said to me, the reason why she's coming late is because she had to bring her son to daycare before she comes to work. So I said, well, this company is like family oriented. So what we can do, we can change your work schedule. You don't have to come for this specific time. You can come later and work later. So right away, yes, I had to talk to her about coming late, but I also gave her a suggestion as to how we can fix the problem. And as it relates to children, criticizing children, it is recommended that when you have to criticize a child, first you find things that you can commend them on. They call it the 5-to-1 ratio of praise. So you tell them all the things that they're doing, and then you say, there is one area that you can improve or you can work on. So it does not come across as harsh to the child, and they can see the balance. You praise them and then you let them know what they can improve on. And I think in general, if we have to give criticism, I think that's what we should strive to do. Be supportive, like tell them the bad, but also let them know that they're doing things good. So they don't leave feeling so depressed or, that they can't do, like you'll hear children say, oh, I can't do anything good to please you. And this is because you always just point out the bad to them, but we want to point out the good also. So that's my contribution for the day. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
very
so very
much.
much.
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, bye.
And Claire, as per usual, very, very invaluable contribution there coming from
The Bane
that
girl.
very familiar voice.
Yes,
That very
yes.
familiar voice. Claire, but I know you have moved ahead, and we have to move a little bit faster now because the time is really running out fast.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
must touch on that. How to protect yourself from negative criticism. One, detach the tone from the content. Sometimes there a tiny useful piece buried inside. Don't internalize the critic's emotions. Their frustration isn't your identity. Set boundaries. You don't owe everyone access to your creative or personal space. Seek balanced perspectives. One negative voice shouldn't outweigh many positive ones. You are allowed to discard criticism that doesn't help you grow. The non-obvious insight. Negative criticism often reveals more about the critic's state of mind than about your work. People project their insecurities, stress, or unmet expectations onto others.
That is quite true.
Negative, yeah. Negative criticism has real psychological, emotional, and even behavioral side effects, especially when it's frequent, harsh, or comes from people whose opinions matter to you. Here's a clear, structured breakdown of what it can do and why it hits so hard. The core takeaway. The main side effect of negative criticism is that it damages confidence and distorts self perception, often leading to long term patterns of avoidance, anxiety, or self doubt. Psychological side effects. These are the internal shifts that happen in your thinking and self image. Lowered self esteem, you start believing the negative judgment, overthinking and rumination, replaying the criticism repeatedly. Imposter feelings, doubting your competence even when you're capable. Fear of failure, because mistakes feel like personal attacks. Internalized negativity, you begin criticizing yourself the same way others do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
negative criticism can become a voice you carry around long after the critic is gone. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Once you allow it to take effect of you,
That's
actually.
it. That's it.
E- Emotional side effects. These show up as emotional reaction that can linger. One, shame, feeling like you are the problem, not the action. Anxiety, anticipating more criticism in the future. Resentment toward the critic or even toward the task itself. Discouragement, losing motivation to try again. Emotional withdrawal, pulling back to avoid being hurt.
Mm.
Emotions are often stronger than the content of the criticism itself. Behavioral side effects. Negative criticism doesn't just affect how you feel, it changes how you act.
That's true.
Avoidance, avoiding tasks, people or situations where criticism might happen. Perfectionism, trying to eliminate all flaws to avoid judgment. Reduce creativity. Fear shuts down experimentation. People pleasing, trying to prevent criticism by over accommodating others. Silencing yourself, speaking up less to avoid being judged. These behaviors can become habits if the criticism is chronic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
And it
gosh,
and it can become chronic.
I'm telling you. Social side effects. Negative criticism affects relationships and communication too. Loss of trust, especially if the critic is someone close. Communication breakdown. You stop sharing ideas or feelings. Conflict. Criticism delivered harshly often escalates tension. Isolation. Withdrawing from social or collaborative environments. Humans are wired to avoid social threats, and negative criticism feels like one. The non obvious insight. Negative criticism doesn't just hurt, it reshapes your internal narrative. If repeated, it can become part of your identity unless you consciously challenge it. Claire, and that's where we come to end. What a way of coming to an end on this
You
document.
have 5 minutes, you know.
Of course, we have 5 minutes
No,
of which you can and go on.
I'd like to read a comment here when it talks about people that, you do not know who you can talk to in confidence because somebody's always letting go what you say. The person says, Amen. Good point. You really cannot trust people. These are things that happens to me more than once. I am very skeptical of persons now. And that is a big thing because sometimes you're going through so much in our life, Jester, and you just need, as they say, to vomit. But
Hmm.
who? Nobody has a
You need
vomit bag holding it.
you need to vent.
Yes. So it's something that we really, all of us, have to think about when somebody says something to us in privacy or in how do you call the word again? The word that I'm looking for. Not secrecy, in confidence.
Confidence.
You're supposed to keep it in confidence also. Because once you lose that trust in that person, there is no way of getting it back again.
Of
And
course
another
not.
comment, I'm ending my thing with saying this. Tony says, know thyself. You are operating to seek validation from others, then you give power to the others. And I firmly believe that I don't want to give power to anybody over what I do, say, think, or anything. Because the more you rent space in your head for some people, the more you put yourself under pressure because of who they are to you or you think they are to you. Know thyself. If you know yourself, no one can tell you anything to make you think differently.
That's correct. So, Claire, with me in all of this, because this document that have been researched is very, very powerful. And I realize quite a number of our listeners and viewers really did soak it in. But as for me, based on what I deal with, I am a public figure in facing many audiences. And that part of it is what I really take into consideration here deeply. Understanding the biological backdrops helps to detach from the emotional punch. How to evaluate criticism? Ask yourself, is it true? So when it's
Mm-hmm.
leveled against me, is it true? Even partially true, Claire. It
Mm-hmm.
goes so far to say, is it useful? What use does it have? So I'll evaluate these things. Is it coming from someone who understands the context? So is it coming from someone who knows what it's all about? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is it delivered in good faith? So whether this person is just trying to be malicious,
Mm-hmm.
and above that, if the answer is no to most of these criticism or what is being leveled there above,
It is
whatever
just
the question being
noise.
asked,
Mm-hmm.
is I'll just treat it as noise. And
Noise.
let me tell you something. You, as a person, you do not have to answer to all dogs that bark.
Well, roof, roof.
Claire, oh
Yes.
my gosh, what a way to end this program this morning. I
Oh.
want to, Claire, I want to take the opportunity to thank our listeners and viewers so much for taking their time off, their mid-morning time off.
Mm-hmm.
I hope many of them did not burn their husband's lunch or their wife lunch. It could go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But we do appreciate you taking your time off, sacrificing the time, so that we all can learn from each other. All right, it's actually a learning process. So it's not just we here because we guide the process of the program, Claire. But we do
Mm-hmm.
learn quite a lot
Oh
from our
yeah.
listeners and viewers
Mm-hmm.
as to how they are thinking, and that is important. They do give us a whole pot spoon, right, for us to digest at times, and that is very important. And we are so grateful for that, Claire. So, Claire, the
All you
final
have to do is
words
to
you
tell
want to
them
say?
to let them share, like, and subscribe to the channel. The more we have, the merrier it is, the better topics we can come up with. Thank you all so very much.
So I invite you to join us next week, Tuesday, God's will, where we'll endeavor to have a very interesting topic again for you so that we all can deliberate upon. My name, Jester Noel.
And
And
I
may God
am,
reach his blessing for the day.
and
You
I
are
am CJ,
the the petite
the
the
petite lady.
petite lady.
Know
All
thyself.
right.
Yes, take care all. Mwah, to you guys.
The music. You don't want to
The
dance,
music, the
Claire?
music, the music. I'm dancing already. I'm not hearing.
Oh, how come we not yet?
It's
Should be here. I didn't do
I
anything.
got you. I got you now.
say, feeling heavy, you're not alone. Come take five, you're in the zone. Voices come, what's
But
left
they
here?
say,
Two
two
good
good
friends
friends
always
always
there.
there.
Let the sunlight in your heart, peace and hope you're sure to find. We'll
So
take
take five.
CJ
CJ
and Jester,
Jester,
talking
talking
truth,
truth and
take the pressure.
pressure.
Every
Every
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
10
10
to
to
1,
noon,
we're holding space just for
just for
you.
you. Take a breath,
Take your
time.
time.
You
Here
never realign
your
your
mind.
mind. Take
Take
5
and
minutes
alone.
alone. See
See the
this
Jester bring
bring
you
you
home.
home.
Clay, you know what's happening? It's
No,
sounding like you're out of time because of the it will take.
yeah, I know. So I'm
You
out of
can let me
time,
a couple
and we are
seconds.
going. Goodbye, all. Take care. I'm out of time, and we all are out of time. Take care. Bye bye.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much.
Hmm.